Stockdale paradox. True perseverance lies not in blind optimism, but in the ability to hold on to hope even when faced with the brutal realities of a difficult situation. This seemingly contradictory state of mind, captured by the Stockdale paradox, presents a challenge many must face believing in a positive outcome while confronting the harsh present. Self-absorption paradox. Transparent minds, trapped hearts, complete self-awareness, a gift of clarity, becomes a prison for some. The harsh self-talk, a tool for understanding, fuels anxiety and depression. Paradoxically, the very key to self-knowledge traps them in a cycle of negativity. Gender paradox. Social expectations often lead women to be more cautious and polite communicators than men. However, this very caution might hinder them from expressing themselves assertively when needed. Bystander paradox. Unexpected consequence where more witnesses can lead to less help, as everyone assumes someone else will intervene. Why crowds sometimes freeze. Backfire effect. Correcting information isn't always straightforward. The backfire effect describes a situation where attempts to fix a misconception can actually make it stronger. It's like pushing someone in the opposite direction they want to go. They might resist the push and end up further away from the truth. Confirmation paradox. We all wear a kind of confirmation lens that filters out opposing views, leaving us only with information that confirms our existing beliefs. This paradox highlights the curious tension between our desire for a clear understanding of the world and the potential for our biases to distort our perception of reality. Progress paradox. Imagine a world with incredible technological advancements and more material possessions than ever before. It seems like progress should lead to greater happiness, right? But research suggests that overall happiness levels haven't necessarily increased. Why is that? First impression paradox. We rely on first impressions to navigate the social world, like judging a book by its cover. However, this snap judgment can create blind spots. While a quick impression might get us through a crowded room, it can also lead to missed connections or unfair biases because these initial perceptions, often inaccurate, can be surprisingly difficult to change. Unveiling paradox. People can make decisions based not on what they actually want to do, but on what they think that other people want to do, with the result that everybody decides to do something that nobody really wants to do, but only what they thought that everybody else wanted to do. IKEA effect paradox. The harder you work to get something, the more valuable it seems to you, even if its actual quality isn't that great. This paradox highlights how our own experiences can influence how much we think something is worth. Choice paradox. In Willy Wonka's amazing shop, where chocolate explosions and unicorn swirls tempt, an abundance of delightful choices leads to decision fatigue. Surprisingly, the very variety that promises enjoyment becomes the source of paralysis, where the very abundance that promises satisfaction can become a barrier to experiencing it. The spotlight paradox. The more self-conscious we are about being noticed, the less likely we are to truly be noticed. This twist highlights how our anxiety about being the center of attention can ironically make us blend into the background. Nickname paradox. Tough guy makes you act tough. Crybaby stifles tears. But the paradox deepens. A genius praised for smarts becomes pressured to live up to it, inevitably hindering exploration and fostering fear of failure. Nicknames shape us, but the genius paradox shows how praise itself can become a burden. Region beta paradox. Contrary to what we might think, the region beta paradox suggests strong emotions like a bad breakup can actually heal faster than minor annoyances. Big feelings trigger coping mechanisms like talking to a friend or trying to forget, which help us feel better quicker. Little annoyances, on the other hand, might not be a big enough deal to address, leading them to pile up and make us feel crummy for longer. Moral paradox. It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place, but with moral principles. It's a situation where two important moral rules clash, making it impossible to choose a clear right or wrong answer. You might have to pick the least bad option, even if it feels like a one-time lose. Liar paradox. A treasure map claims the X marks the spot, But nothing is true on this map. If the statement is true, then the X shouldn't mark the treasure. But if the statement is false, then everything on the map, including the X, must be true. Dunning-Kruger effect. The more we struggle with the task, the less likely we are to recognize our mistakes. This is a counterintuitive phenomenon known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. It can lead to overconfidence, like a novice chef who believes their scrambled eggs are a masterpiece. Stapp's ironical paradox. Even though we constantly make mistakes, our universal talent for messing things up, every human achievement stands as a testament to our remarkable ability to overcome our own limitations. Effort paradox. Sometimes, the harder you try to force something, the worse the outcome. This seemingly counterintuitive phenomenon, known as the effort paradox, applies to skills, emotions, and even relationships. Ironic process theory. The harder you try to push a thought away, the more it seems to resist and linger in your mind. This paradox highlights the curious interplay between our conscious efforts and the involuntary processes of our thoughts. Anti-Semitism paradox. The fight against prejudice that thrives on emphasizing otherness might require strengthening group identity in the short term. However, this very act of emphasizing difference could unintentionally create a barrier to long-term integration within a society striving for equality. Identical twins paradox. Here's the twist. Studies show identical twins can have different IQ scores even when raised in similar environments. This throws a wrench into our understanding. If genes and environment can't fully explain intelligence, then what else is at play? Is there an element of randomness or some unknown factor we haven't considered? Gender equality paradox. In some countries that push for equal rights for men and women, legal equality opens doors, but social norms keep pushing women towards feminine fields and men towards masculine ones. True equality needs to tackle both legal and social barriers. Social network paradox. Social media connects us globally, but it can also lead to social isolation and a decline in face-to-face interaction. The paradox reflects the tension between connection and isolation in the digital age. Forbidden fruit paradox. The forbidden fruit paradox captures the human tendency to be drawn to things that are off-limits. This seemingly contradictory experience, known as the forbidden fruit paradox, highlights the rebellious streak within us and the mysterious allure of the forbidden. Status paradox. Globalization's surprising twist. Skilled immigrants often face a decrease in social status when they move to richer countries, despite their valuable skills. This seemingly contradictory situation highlights the complex interplay between economic value and cultural recognition in our interconnected world. Motivation paradox. The very pursuit of motivation, often fueled by a crippling fear of failure, can paradoxically lead to procrastination and a lack of action. Instead of taking the first step, we get caught in a cycle of overthinking and self-doubt, constantly seeking that perfect motivated feeling which can delay getting started altogether. Sleep paradox. The sleep paradox captures our frustrating struggle with sleep. Exhaustion demands sleep, yet the very act of being tired can fuel the urge to stay awake and be productive. This illogical cycle, where the need for sleep battles the desire to stay awake, often leads to worsened sleep deprivation and even worse performance the next day.